Hello friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel today. This is Jennifer if you're new here, and today's video is going to be kind of a quick transformation of sorts with a new product that I just purchased about a week and a half ago that I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring a YouTube video to life on this product until I used it for a while, which is typically how I like to do things when I buy a new product. I want to make sure that I've used it for, a couple days or so before I actually judge the product. And it's kind of a new formula to the market now, and it has really just kind of like blown my socks off. And the reason it's blowing my socks off is because it is a 3-in-1 foundation, meaning it's going to save you time when you do your makeup, which I'm a mom of 3 and I am a freelance makeup artist and obviously beauty blogger, and I produce YouTube videos. So I love anything that saves me time when it comes to my makeup routine. As much as I love to put on makeup, anything to shorten that amount of time is okay by me. So this foundation, I picked it up because I had seen so much all over YouTube and Instagram, and some of my favorite influencers were talking about it. And the fact that it's a drugstore foundation, meaning it's less expensive and you don't have to drop a lot of coin to buy it, I was immediately hooked, like, okay, I gotta give it a whirl. So it was actually pretty hard to find a couple weeks ago, especially online. They were out of a lot of the colors and everything. And so I ended up going into my local CVS, and there was the display right in front of me with tons of shades and a lot of products. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get me one of those foundations and I'm gonna give it a try and see if it's really worth the hype. So that's what today's video is all about. As you can see, I have no makeup on right now. I have on my eye makeup and a little bit of lip gloss, but I have nothing on my skin because I actually want you to see the transformation of how this foundation looks on me before and after. So I'm actually gonna put it on for you right now. First off, I have actually already prepped my skin, which I do every time I put on foundation. I do think that's the important part of a foundation performing well, is the fact that you need to prep your skin first. All I have done this morning with my face is I've used my favorite Pixie Glow Tonic, which is an exfoliating toner basically, and I just use a cotton pad. I wipe it all over my face, and it helps to kind of prep my skin and get ready for moisturizer. And because it's a glycolic acid product, it kind of exfoliates your skin, takes off all the dead skin cells, and makes it nice and shiny, thus the word glow. So I have that on, and then of course I have to moisturize. I have very dry skin at 43, so I have to use a moisturizer. And today I actually have on the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Day Cream with SPF 30. I love this stuff. This is the trial size. I will be buying a full size tube of it because I love it. And actually feel like it makes my skin kind of glowy already. And it has the SPF 30, which is awesome. So I've already done both of those steps. And so now let's go ahead and get into the foundation. And you're probably wondering, what is this wonderful foundation you're talking about? So here it is. This is the CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear 3-in-1 Foundation 24 Hours. I bought it in the color 817, which is Golden Natural. I actually nailed the color. You're gonna see it looks pretty good. But it is 24 hours, full coverage, and it has an SPF of 18 in it, which is awesome. So I think however you apply your foundation is kind of up to you. But I do love to use a foundation brush. I also love to use a sponge. And so today I'm actually using my new beauty blender that I just bought from Sephora. I know it doesn't look very clean. It's clean enough though. But they have a limited edition zodiac sign beauty blenders, and they're limited edition. And I'm a sucker for anything limited edition. So I'm using my beauty blender. It's the same size, same color as the original. It's actually the same price. I believe it's 20 bucks. But I'm gonna use that today as well. So let's get right into it. Skin is prepped and ready to go. So here is my before, because I kind of want you to get a nice up close of what it looks like before I put this on, and then the after. So of course, with a beauty blender, you do need to wet your beauty blender sponge. You just want to dampen it slightly. So I have a little water bottle right here that I'm just gonna hit to make it wet enough. The reason you want to dampen your beauty blender sponge is because so that it doesn't waste a lot of your actual foundation makeup that you're gonna put on there, because if you put it on there dry, it's just gonna waste a lot of that product. So it's almost like you're creating a little barrier with your, by dampening it. So you don't want it wet, of course, but damp just enough. Sometimes I'll take a Kleenex and just kind of squeeze it off a little. So my beauty blender is nice and damp enough. And my zodiac sign is an Aquarius, if you're curious. So it's got the little water symbol on it. Okay, so we're gonna take my CoverGirl, and it comes in a very handy dandy pump. And I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand here. I always use my hand as a palette, so we're gonna start off with about that much. It is full coverage, so you kind of want to start light and then apply as needed depending on how much coverage you want. So I always like to go lighter. I can always go heavier instead of the reverse way. So then I'll just take my damp Beauty Blender sponge. I'm gonna damp it on the back of my hand. The best way to use a Beauty Blender, of course, is to just kind of stipple it, stipple it. Not quite sure exactly the right way to say that word, but you stipple it into the skin. And of course, I will start with the center of my face. And so really, hopefully we can get in real close to you so you can see how this transformation goes with my skin. But right off the bat, starting with my nose where I have the most discoloration and redness, you can already see how pretty this finish is looking. Now, okay, so here's the thing about it as I'm putting it on. This, and I did not put enough on my hand, so I'm gonna have to put a little more. The thing about this is it's a 3-in-1 foundation, meaning it has your primer included, your foundation, and it says it has concealer in it. So I have used this for a week and a half now. I still want to put concealer on afterward. I always do concealer after foundation anyway. But I do put a little bit on underneath my eyes, but I think the concealer part is, you know, it's good for like if you have like sunspots or anything. Like I have a sunspot right there that I like to cover, and I feel like it's covering it quite well. But the fact that it has a primer included and you don't have to put on a primer, I mean, that is huge that it takes away that step. And I will say, you know, we're into February now, 2021, and mask wearing is still a thing. The primer in this foundation helps so much that it does not transfer a whole lot onto my mask, and it doesn't fade. I feel like it doesn't move around my face long term. I've been wearing this, like I'll put it on in the morning. It's not really morning right now, it's almost noon. But I'll put it on in the morning sometimes. And I mean, by 4 or 5 o'clock, my skin still looks amazing. It's crazy. All right, so I'm putting a little bit more on. And I do just a little bit on my forehead. Obviously, I have bangs, so no one sees my forehead. So I don't go real heavy here, especially because I sweat and, you know, forehead wrinkles and whatnot. But that's why I cut bangs. So don't really need a whole lot right there around my forehead, but this is probably about as much coverage as I would normally do just like on a regular day. Like I said, I'm not even gonna do concealer on today because I just wanted you to see, I'm not gonna do blush, just wanted you to see how this looks before and after. Now, remember, if you're putting on foundation and you have a lower cut shirt, don't forget your neck, don't forget your chest. I'm gonna wet this a little bit more. Your neck and your chest are an extension of your face. So make sure that that's kind of even. I'm not saying to like load up your neck and chest with a bunch of foundation, but definitely spot treat a little bit so that your face and your neck and your chest all kind of even out, since they are all one entity for sure. But that is about what I would do right now. Once you let it sit and dry a little bit, it creates the most beautiful finish. So let's see if I can get in close so y'all can see that. I mean, I'm assuming that on camera it looks as good as it does in the mirror that I'm looking at right here. But it's not super duper matte, which I like because I have dry skin and I don't like a super matte skin. That is just a personal thing for me, of course. But I feel like it gives the skin a nice, breathable, kind of movable type look. Doesn't feel super heavy. And like I said, as it dries, it just gives the most beautiful finish. And I will, later on, I will be adding some concealer underneath my under eyes. But I mean, if you could see from the start to the finish when I put this on, it definitely brightened my under eye a little bit, but I'm gonna have to go a little bit more, you know, with that and hit it with a little bit of concealer. But other than that, I mean, I don't need to conceal anywhere the rest of my face because it just evened everything out so beautifully. And like I said, this stuff, it lasts forever. So I don't ever wear makeup for 24 hours. That's just not my thing. I like to wash my face. So I can't tell you that it actually lasts for 24 hours, but it definitely lasts all day long for me. I have not had to update this. I don't need to add more throughout the day. I just feel like it wears really, really well and it moves really well in my face. So kudos to Covergirl for making an inexpensive drugstore long wear foundation. I think it runs anywhere from $10 to $11 is what I saw. I do think it comes in a lot of colors. I'm not quite sure how many colors, but it looked like it came in a good bit. And I will say, they really talk about how it's sweat proof and humidity proof, and I live in Georgia, so we do typically have a lot of humidity, but of course it's February right now, so we haven't really had to deal with humidity. So I can't wait to see how this works come the spring and summertime in Georgia. That'll really put this to the test, but right now in winter, I've been very impressed because it doesn't fade, it doesn't transfer, and it doesn't move on my face throughout the day. So I am just really super duper happy with this stuff. That's why I figured I needed to make a video so that y'all could hear all about it. And just wanted you to be able to see how it looked from start to finish so you can kind of make the judgment call for yourself if you want to go out and give it a try. It would only be 10 or 11 bucks. You get quite a bit of product for 10 or $11, so I think that that's great. But that's it for today's video, y'all. That is my kind of, not really first impression because I've been using it a while, but my first time bringing it to you. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, of course, give it a thumbs up. That always really helps us YouTubers. If you can just give it that like, comments are even better. If you have another comment or a question about the foundation, feel free to ask it. I'm happy to hear whatever you have to say. And any ideas later on for another YouTube video, anything you want me to hit on. I am 43 if you're new here, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me those. Oh, and also, I failed to mention at the beginning of this video, which I totally meant to do, but got so excited talking about the product, is that I am still offering my virtual makeup lessons. I have a blog post that lists all of the details and fees and most asked questions in the blog post, and I will link that in the description below this video if you want to go check out that and see if a virtual makeup lesson with me would be great for you. I would love to see you and work with you. And until next time on the next YouTube video, I'll see you guys later. Bye. I mean, I woke up like this, not really. Thanks, Covergirl. Now to go add concealer, because I do need concealer. Okay, bye.